man patted an elderly woman from the Taishu divine clan on the back. Honored guest from afar, don't be shy, eat more to replenish your blood vitality. Look at you, your life essence is nearly drained. Gu Chang'e smiled from above. On the contrary, it is I who must trouble Queen Ji Jiao for hosting such a grand banquet in my honor. Standing in the back, Jiang Luochen thought to himself, this guy is actually so close to the ruler of the demon realm. Even if my father were here, I doubt he'd receive such an honor. Gu Chang'e continued politely, Your Majesty, such formality isn't necessary. Between us, we can be considered friends. Upon hearing this, Ji Yao finally understood. She murmured, so he truly faked his death. Thank you, young Master Chang'e, for telling me this and confirming what I had long suspected. Gu Chang'e smiled indifferently. No need for thanks, Queen Ji Yao. Suddenly, Ji Yao extended her hand in invitation. The night is deep. Mylan, Juju, and the 4 maids are all my trusted attendants, personally raised from childhood. They are pure, intelligent, and obedient. Or perhaps, having all 4 serve you together wouldn't be a bad idea. The 3 maids in front instantly blushed with joy, while Qingzhu broke into a cold sweat, her expression filled with anxiety. Just then, Jiang Luochen spoke up. Queen Ji Yao, let's forget about this. This man is extremely picky. His wife is Yumingkong of the peerless immortal dynasty, and his close confidants are 2 saintesses from the ancestral hall. Seeing themselves overlooked, the other maids couldn't hide their disappointment, while only Qingzhu secretly sighed in relief. Gu Chang'e then left together with Jiang Luochen. Walking behind him, Jiang Luochen suddenly remarked, Gu Chang'e, let me make this clear, I will not serve you. He responded casually, I have no interest in those maids, but why must a maid make things difficult for another maid? Jiang Luochen was momentarily stunned by his words and unconsciously stopped to ponder. Inside the great hall, several maids advised, Your Majesty, you should rest now. However, Ji Yao directly called her name, Qingzhu, have you forgotten the rules I set? After saying this, she cast a cold glance and let out a faint snort. Seeing this, Qingzhu broke into a cold sweat. She immediately knelt down. This servant knows her mistake. I beg your majesty for forgiveness. Ji Yao continued to ask, do you already have someone in your heart? Considering you've served me since childhood, I'll give you a chance. Handle it yourself. She hesitated for a moment, then lowered her head. Your Majesty, Yes, I obey. The scene shifts to Jun Fan, who asked his subordinate, how did the matter go? Jun Fan gently embraced Qingzhu and whispered, as long as you succeed, the success rate is over 90%. Only with her dead will we truly be free. Moments later, Qingzhu left. The tea Qingzhu drank earlier had already been poisoned. He thought to himself, if the plan succeeds, I will give her the antidote. At this moment, inside the room, Gu Chang'e was playing chess with Jiang Luochen. A subordinate stepped forward to report, Young Master, the woman you asked me to monitor seemed to head to the Black-White Academy. After leaving the palace. However, she did not stay for long and quickly left. It appears she was there to find someone. But since she stayed only briefly, it's more likely she was delivering a message. Perhaps that Jun Buffon is currently hiding in the Black-White Academy. They might be plotting something, using that maid to interfere with Queen Ji Yao's daily life. Or even tampering with her spiritual food or pills. However, that seems unlikely. With Queen Ji Yao's level of vigilance, succeeding wouldn't be easy. Across from him, Jiang Luochen was fuming internally, my chess skills aren't bad, so why can't I win a single game? Is this guy good at everything? Suddenly, he spoke up, something's not right. The Heavenly Talents Banquet of the Demon Realm is in 3 days. Many prestigious families from the 9 great regions will attend the grand event at the Black-White Academy, and Queen Ji Yao will make an appearance then. Seeing Gu Chang'e distracted, Jiang Luochen took the opportunity to secretly swap a chess piece. Yet Gu Chang'e remained unaware and continued, at that time, with such a mixed crowd, if I were the demon emperor's son. The Heavenly Talents banquet would be the perfect opportunity to strike. Continue monitoring her actions, and if anything unusual happens, report to me immediately. The subordinate cupped his hands and responded, understood. After giving his instructions, Gu Chang'e said, it's your turn. But Jiang Luochen grinned and motioned for him to take another look at the board. Seeing the altered chessboard, Gu Chang'e casually picked up a chess piece and flicked it at her forehead, so furious that he was almost about to spit out blood. After a while, Jiang Luochen massaged Gu Chang'e's shoulders and casually asked, aren't you friends with the Demon Realm's queen? Why don't you warn her? Hearing this, she secretly grumbled to herself, being friends with you is practically a disaster. 3 days later, the Heavenly Talents banquet began. Among the crowd, Bai Liener walked alongside her junior disciple. He asked, Senior Sister Liener, do you think we'll find the person our master is looking for this time? He continued, if we hand this item over to him, will we be able to return and save our master? But in her heart, she thought, dealing with Gu Chang'e won't be that simple. On the sacred mountain of the Black-White Academy, countless prodigies had already gathered. Look! That's Senior Sister Song. She's definitely making it into the top 10. A general stood on the viewing platform and sighed, Grand Preceptor, your daughter is so young yet already so outstanding. Truly admirable. Upon hearing this, the elderly Grand Preceptor thought of Gu Chang'e and sighed, let the young people decide their own affairs. We elders need not interfere. The surrounding people murmured excitedly, Jun Fan. It's Jun Fan. The youngest number 1 in the demon realm. Those two are truly a perfect match. Jun Fan stepped forward, smiling as he asked, Yue, it's been days since I last saw you. Did you just return today? Yue evaluated him, he's almost the perfect man. I'm just being honest. He gives me the impression of an illusory painting, completely unreal. Hearing this, Jun Fan sneered inwardly, Gu Chang'e, you are an outsider. It would be best if you stayed out of the demon realm's affairs. Otherwise, I don't mind taking care of you as well. At that moment, a luxurious carriage sped through the sky, surrounded by the Empress's attendants. The crowd immediately recognized it, look! Her Majesty the Empress has arrived. It's Her Majesty and the 4 great female officials. Wait a minute, that's... The one sitting beside the Empress seems to be, the young Lord of Chang'e. Wow! No way! Even the female officials by Her Majesty's side don't receive such treatment. Standing below, Jun Fan also witnessed this scene. The women beside him excitedly shouted, is that the young Lord of Chang'e? He's so handsome. My little demon heart is about to jump out. Yao Wei remarked, so young, yet already on par with the great sect leaders. Hearing this, Shi Jiao thought he was making a confession and couldn't help but stare at him in surprise. Qing Zhu then announced loudly, by order of Her Majesty, the first 100 people to reach the summit of the holy mountain will be granted wine by Her Majesty. Life and death are left to fate. The banquet of prodigies begins now. But as they stepped onto the stone steps, they were horrified to find themselves oppressed, forced to the ground. While the others struggled to advance, Jun Fan walked up the staircase with ease, as if completely unaffected. Meanwhile, Gu Chang'e walked alongside Shi Jiao and asked, so this holy mountain serves as the standard for measuring the demon realm's prodigies? Hearing this, he mused to himself, this is such a cliché design. Those seated in the spectator area must be the major powerhouses and influential families of the demon realm. Seeing him lost in thought, Shi Jiao asked, what is it? Did you notice something, young Lord of Chang'e? Worried about an assassination? I've long since gotten used to it. All right. Let's see who takes first place this time. At that moment, she clenched a vial of poison tightly in her hand. On the way up the steps, the crowd buzzed with discussion. Jun Fan is in the lead. At this speed, he might break a record that has stood for thousands of years, completely crushing everyone, including even the Grand Tutor's only daughter, Song Yawei. As expected of the #1 prodigy of the demon realm. Is he really the third son of the King of Chaos Suppression? The King of Chaos Suppression, seeing his son in the lead, said joyfully, "Fanner, you did not disappoint your father." Someone watching from below asked in confusion, "Senior Sister Lien, are you saying that young man is the one we've been searching for?" She replied, "It can't be wrong. Other than him, no one in the younger generation of the demon realm possesses such power. But why would he choose to ascend the holy mountain at this moment? It's far too conspicuous. Isn't Empress Shijiao the one he hates most? Isn't he afraid she'll discover his true identity? He just wants to prove himself. No matter where he is, he must stand above the rest." Humph. Childish. Jun Bufan, we were once like siblings until you met Shijiao. You've disappointed me too much. So if I could trust Gu Chang'e, I would truly want to give him the brocade pouch in exchange for my father's life. After a long climb, Jun Fan finally reached the mountain peak. Shijiao said, "The son of the King of Chaos Suppression, Jun Fan, not bad. I didn't expect you to showcase such talent right from the start with such an astonishing performance." Gu Chang'e remarked, "That name is rather unique, Jun Fan." Shijiao explained, "At first, I was also surprised when I heard that name, but the King of Chaos Suppression was a retainer I personally elevated. I know his offspring well." "Oh. I see. Truly a rare talent." The fortune value above Jun Fan's head unexpectedly displayed as a question mark. He cupped his hands in salute. "Jun Fan greets your majesty." "Greetings, young Lord Chang'e." However, he sneered inwardly, "Wretched woman, you can still chat and laugh with Gu Chang'e, but did you see? I am the one who will always be beyond reach." Gu Chang'e stepped forward and patted his shoulder. "Congratulations on securing first place, Jun Bufan." He instinctively replied, "Thank you." But he froze instantly, realizing he had misspoken. Gu Chang'e feigned surprise and said, "Oh dear, my mistake, my mistake. I was momentarily overwhelmed by your regal presence and called the wrong name. Truly, a prodigy." Jun Fan's forehead glistened with sweat, and he quickly said, "Young Lord Chang'e, you overpraise me. How dare I claim the title of prodigy in your presence?" Shijiao stepped forward. "All right, stop scaring him. Jun Fan, take your seat." "Thank you, your majesty." At this moment, Shijiao glanced at Gu Chang'e in confusion, while Jun Bufan secretly transmitted a message to Qingzhu, "Is everything proceeding smoothly?" Qingzhu transmitted back, "Her Majesty hasn't noticed anything unusual." After a while, Shijiao's voice rang out, "The 108 prodigies are about to arrive. Qingmei, Qinglan, arrange the seating. Qingzhu, prepare the banquet." At that moment, Gu Chang'e also noticed that Jun Bufan and Qingzhu were secretly communicating. Just then, the banquet officially began. Shijiao proclaimed loudly, "Everyone, first of all, congratulations on earning the right to participate in the prodigy banquet. Those seated here are the future of the demon realm. I hope you will continue to strive forward and contribute to the prosperity of the demon realm in the future." The attendees, upon hearing this, erupted in excitement, shouting, "Long live Her Majesty! Long live Her Majesty!" In the distance, those who had not been allowed into the banquet whispered among themselves. Many grumbled indignantly, "How infuriating! I was eliminated. If only I could taste a Bodhi fruit or have a sip of that fine wine." The Grand Preceptor sighed beside them, "The scale of this Jianjiao banquet is truly beyond imagination." The Heavenly King added with a smile, "Her Majesty the Empress has always valued outstanding young talents." Meanwhile, Jun Bufan sat leisurely, thinking to himself, "Drink, drink, Shijiao. Tonight's banquet is nothing more than your funeral." Suddenly, a system alert sounded, the wine contains an unknown substance. Immediately after, Gu Changde smiled and said, Her Majesty is so generous, they will surely be grateful beyond words. Shi Jiao responded indifferently, I do not need their gratitude. Everything I do is for the future of the demon race. The male lead sighed, Empress Shi Jiao is truly farsighted. Changde deeply admires that. Shi Jiao raised her wine cup and said, I appreciate young Master Changde traveling thousands of miles to the demon realm to remind me. I toast to you. The male lead smiled and replied, Your Majesty, there's no need for such formality. Then, Shi Jiao, completely unsuspecting, drank it all in one gulp, while the male lead merely glanced at the cup before quietly discarding the poisoned wine. Shi Jiao asked, Young Master Changde, how is the wine? That sly old loach smiled and said, The taste is naturally impeccable, but... Shi Jiao asked. Puzzled, but what? Standing beside them, the attendant Qing Zhu grew anxious in her heart, thinking, Your Majesty, forgive my incompetence. Gu Changde chuckled and said, It's just that Your Majesty's alcohol tolerance seems a little lacking. Shi Jiao retorted indignantly, What nonsense! How could my tolerance be weak? But at that moment, a sudden wave of dizziness overtook her. Her vision began to blur. The male lead continued to smile calmly and said, It seems Your Majesty can hardly stay seated. Shi Jiao clutched her head, alarmed. No. This isn't a matter of alcohol tolerance. I've been poisoned. The male lead feigned concern and asked, Your Majesty, are you all right? Shi Jiao turned her gaze, suspicion filling her mind. Was it him? No. Could it be Jun Bufan? How did he do it? I am certain the special reserve wine contained nothing harmful. Could it be a mixed poison? The male lead spoke, Your Majesty, are you feeling unwell? Shi Jiao struggled to say, Young Master Changde, let go of me. I'm fine. Gu Changde whispered, It seems you've been poisoned. Shi Jiao gritted her teeth. I know. But right now, I absolutely cannot fall. Just as she finished speaking, she collapsed into the male lead's arms. He panicked and stammered, Hey, hey. If you can't fall, then don't fall on me. Shi Jiao weakly murmured, I have no strength left at all. At that moment, outside the banquet, the Grand Preceptor and the Heavenly King noticed something was off. They spoke in alarm, Her Majesty doesn't seem well. Indeed. What's happening? Could it be poison? Is the special reserve wine poisoned? From a distance, Bai Lianer watched coldly, secretly thinking, could Jun Bufan actually succeed? Just then, a mysterious figure flashed through the scene, instantly assassinating several rebellious guards while shouting, Kill Shi Jiao. More assassins quickly emerged from the shadows. The entire scene descended into chaos. People screamed in terror, exclaiming, even among the academy elders, there are remnants of the 5 emperors' forces. Soon, those people broke through the defenses and rushed into the banquet. Jun Bufan stepped forward and shouted, Protect His Majesty. Your Majesty, rest assured, as long as we are here, no one will get close to you. Yao Wei called out, Bufan, leave the protection of His Majesty to you. I'll go help over there. Jun Bufan responded, Yao Wei, if you can't handle it, remember to protect yourself. Don't push too hard. Above, the Heavenly King, transformed into Su Sanhua, swung his spear and roared, As long as I'm here, no one can harm the Queen. Suddenly, a man carrying 2 massive hammers charged forward, shouting, King of Chaos Suppression. I am your opponent. He was just a burly man, yet with one hammer strike, he sent the Heavenly King flying, his ancestors nearly manifested from the shock. The crowd cried out in terror, oh no! It's over. The King of Chaos Suppression was sent flying. The opponent's strength has reached the quasi-supreme level. Seeing this, Gu Changde couldn't help but laugh, it looks like the Queen's fate is sealed today. A quasi-supreme is just the appetizer,